Have you ever felt stuck? Like you're trying to change, really trying, but you just keep ending up in the exact same spot? Well, in this explainer, we're going to dive into a pretty powerful idea that real lasting change isn't about just trying harder. It's about fundamentally upgrading who you are. This quote right here, it just nails it, doesn't it? We so often try to fix our problems using the exact same thinking that got us into them in the first place. It's kind of like trying to open a brand new door with an old, rusty key that just doesn't fit. It's never going to work. If you really want different results in your life, you have to become a different person on the inside first. So let's kick things off by really understanding the core problem, the thing that holds so many of us back. Let's call it the mindset trap. Just take a second and look around you. Your bank account, your health, the people in your life. Every single part of it is a direct reflection of the beliefs you carry around with you. It's not really about luck or your circumstances. It's just an output of your internal programming. Now, here's the really wild part. Both of these versions you see here, they exist inside you right now. There's a version that, avoids responsibility and takes the easy way out. But there's also a stronger, more disciplined version that is capable of so much more. Both of them are a part of who you are. So the real question isn't whether that stronger you exists. Of course it does. The question is, which one are you feeding every day? Because every single thought, every little action, every decision you make, it's like casting a vote. You're strengthening one version of you and weakening the other. Okay, so that brings us to the most critical step of all, upgrading your internal operating system. Yeah, think of your mindset like the software running on a computer. You don't just need a little update, you need a complete overhaul. And look, this is not just about thinking positive thoughts, not at all. It's about a deep reprogramming of your core beliefs. A better way to think about it is like your mind is a muscle, right? You wouldn't just walk into a gym for the first time and try to lift 400 pounds. You'd get crushed. You have to condition it, train it over time. Your mind is exactly the same. It has to be trained to handle bigger challenges and greater success. And this is exactly what happens when we don't do that internal work. You might get that big opportunity, a huge promotion, a sudden success. But if your internal operating system isn't ready for it, you'll just collapse under the pressure. This is why you see people self-sabotage all the time. They hit a level of success that they aren't mentally prepared to actually sustain. So if upgrading your mind is the internal work, then what are the external forces that can speed all this up? Well, this brings us to what we can call the growth trifecta. First up, your environment. If you stay in the same old places surrounded by the same old triggers, you will inevitably repeat the same old patterns. Real change requires you to intentionally put yourself in environments where growth is just the normal thing to do. And this could be as simple as working from a new coffee shop or joining a gym where everyone is super focused. Second, and maybe even more powerful, are your people. You know that saying, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with? It's completely true. Their standards, their mindset, their expectations, all of that just seeps into you over time. If you want to level up, you have to surround yourself with people who are already playing on that next level. And third is your knowledge. But here's the huge catch. Information by itself is totally useless. Transformation only happens through applied knowledge. It's not about what you learn, it's about what you actually do with what you learn. It's the difference between reading 5 books on public speaking and actually getting up on a stage to give a presentation. So when you combine these 3 things, the right environment, the right people, and knowledge that you actually use, you create this intense positive pressure. And this pressure, well, it leaves your old self with nowhere to hide. It literally forces you to adapt, to grow, and to let that old identity just break apart. And all of this work and pressure, it leads to the final, most profound stage, the identity shift. This is that magic point where change stops being something you're trying to do, and it just becomes who you are. You'll know the change is real when you just stop tolerating the things you used to accept. You don't have to force yourself to make the better choice anymore. You just do it. It feels natural. Why? Because that's who you are now. Your actions just line up with your new identity, effortlessly. And this, right here, is the key takeaway of this whole thing. Motivation is fleeting, right? It comes and it goes. You can't build a new life on something so unreliable. But your identity, that's lasting. When you change who you fundamentally believe you are, you change everything. The sequence here is absolutely crucial. You don't get new results and then suddenly feel like a new person. No, it works the other way around. You have to first build a new identity. That new identity drives new actions, and those actions create the results you've been looking for all along. The results are just the proof that you've already changed.
At the end of the day, this isn't about needing more time or more money or more luck. It's just about making a commitment to this process of transformation. And that journey, it starts the very moment you decide. So, I'll leave you with this one question. Who will you become?